I'm Steve Thomas, and welcome back to this old house. Hey, Norm.
Steve?
Well, I love to see this, don't you? The piles of lumber all going down, and the house is going up.
And the piles of dirt are going down because the framing crew completed the first floor, got it all sheathed, and we called Herb back in to backfill the foundation.
Right, I remember you told us last time that with this foundation system, you have to have the first floor deck on and secure so that the foundation walls don't bow when you backfill it.
That's right. Now, the framers have been here about 2 days.
2 days?
That's right. Now, you got to remember, this is a subcontractor, and they specialize just in framing. They did a project for us a couple of years ago, and they did a great job, and they're back again. They do this every day, so they're very efficient at it.
And it frees up Tommy and his crew to do other things.
That's right. They can take care of some of the other problems.
Wow. You can really see how far out the old building is when you compare it to the square plumb lines of the new building.
Well, wait till I take you inside. You're going to see some amazing things.
Bad, huh?
Yeah, it's real bad.
So what's next?
Well, you remember that the whole idea of this addition is to have as open a first floor space as possible. No bearing walls, no posts.
Right.
So in order to carry the second floor, which doesn't go all the way across, we need a huge steel beam. And we're ready to set that. Come on.
Well, Norm, this steel I-beam looks like it could hold up the Golden Gate Bridge.
Well, it is a serious piece of steel, over 35 feet long. Now, one of the problems in using steel in a wood frame building is connecting the wood to the steel. You can't use nails, you can't use glue.
Or even biscuits.
That's right. So they've bolted on a top plate here, which will have a wall sitting on it eventually. Then they've built out from the flange, from the web to the flange of the beam with solid wood so that it's just beyond it on both sides and bolted that through.
Bolted that, yeah.
Now they're putting on the joist hangers that will carry the joists.
And as usual, we have the latest, greatest tool for the job right here on this old house job site.
That's right. To put these joist hangers in, it's always a pain in the neck to drive the nails through. So...
Well, you'd have to use a hammer.
That's right. And one tool company has actually developed a pneumatic tool to drive the nails.
How does it work?
Glenn can show us how it works.
It's quite simple. We just line up a nail with a hole. The nail sticks out a little bit, so you can get some good contact.
That's the key to the tool, is that the nail projects out. It's not hidden in the tool, so you can see it, set it in the hole of the joist hanger, and fire away.
Save you some time?
Quite a bit, as most pneumatic tools do.
Great. But still, Norm, why a big steel beam like this? In the past, we've used an engineered lumber beam.
Well, we had the structural engineer look at this and try to design a beam made of wood, but believe it or not, an on-the-shelf beam does not exist for this. So steel was the only way to go.
Well, I got to see this one go into place. So, Norm, what could go wrong here?
Well, the worst thing that could happen is that chain breaks. Because if that breaks, we have a disaster. But Herb is real careful with this. He's moving very slowly, not jerking it back and forth to put any stress, extra stress on that chain. The other thing is he doesn't want to swing too quickly to one side because he could hit the old house. And with that much weight and momentum, it could cause some serious damage.
So the big question now is, will the bolt holes all line up?
Well, the bolts are in next to the old house. How's this end? How's it look, Dickie? Right in there, no problem.
Great. So what's next?
Well, next, as soon as it's bolted down, we start setting in the joists.
Nice job, Herb.
How you doing?
I know you were sweating bullets when you set that thing, even though you made it look like a piece of cake.
Well, that beam weighs 1,500 pounds. The chain is good for about 3,000 pounds. But if something should happen, I'd be loading this mess on the dumpster and starting over.
Yeah, and somebody could get hurt.
It'd be a mess.
As usual, terrific job. Now this construction adhesive that you're applying to the top of all the joists that help to glue down all these pieces of plywood, you really think it's necessary?
Oh, absolutely. I used it on my own house, and it's an important part of this system. It really aids in helping to eliminate squeaky floors, because once you put this adhesive down, even if the nails loosen up in the future, the floor's not going to squeak because the plywood can't move up and down on that nail.
So you're saying the plywood sliding across the nail is what causes the squeak?
That's usually the problem.
Okay, now we're using tongue and groove plywood here.
That's right.
And it takes a lot longer to put it down because you have to drive it into place. Is that really necessary?
Definitely. This is a 3/4 inch tongue and groove plywood, and it's rated to span 24-inch centers. We're only going on 16-inch centers, which means we're going to have a nice stiff floor. And this tongue and groove aspect is the most important point, because wherever plywood meets across the span of the joist, that's the weak point. Because if it didn't have a tongue and groove, those pieces would move up and down, and if they rub, they squeak. When you slide this tongue into the groove, it locks that joint together, and you eliminate that rubbing between the pieces. Okay, Steve, one light tap on the right, and we got to bring it in just a little more on the left, because I want to leave an 1/8 inch gap all the way around. That's good.
Why the gap, Norm?
Just to allow for expansion. That's what the manufacturer recommends.
Boy, it is toasty up there, I'll tell you. Hey, Seema.
Hi, Steve.
Have you seen your new space yet?
I'm just checking it out for the first time.
Come on in.
All right.
Through the new front door.
Woo.
You remember the layout?
Fantastic. Yeah, my new mudroom.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. Onward. Give me the tour.
All right. On to the breakfast area.
Now you'll be able to see who's coming in the front door and up the driveway here.
Suits me. I like that. Lots of windows, too.
And this was a view you never had before.
Nope, not at all. And it's a great one.
Yeah.
Down to the meadow.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah.
So onward to the kitchen and the sink with a view.
Gee, too bad you don't do dishes. Terry's the one who takes on all the dish chores.
It is a shame. I think he's going to like this view a lot.
Give him something nice to look at.
Okay, and the kitchen continues right till about here. The door goes out to our new terrace.
Now
eventually.
this is my favorite view in the whole house.
Maybe mine too. Way down there in the back, there's a big pond that's more in view in the winter when there aren't any leaves.
This will be great.
Super.
And then just next door, the family room.
The family room area and another huge window.
Yeah.
It's going to make it great.
Yeah. Now, have you picked out your furniture?
Come on, Steve. This wasn't even here yesterday. I need a little time.
So it probably hasn't even started to sunk in that you're going to have 3 times as much space here as you did in your old kitchen. Here.
Barely beginning to. You know, I can hardly believe that we really functioned in there.
Yeah, you'll never want to go back. I can guarantee that.
I know I won't.
Has Terry seen it?
No, actually, I think he's down in the cellar.
Well, I'll go find him.
Okay.
Ah, Terry.
Hi, Steve.
Leave it to you to find the coolest place on the whole job site to hide.
Cool, right? Clever of me, right? Stay out of the hot sun.
Very clever. Have you seen your addition yet?
I haven't seen it, but I'm hearing a lot of goings-on up there.
Well, the second floor deck is all framed up, and I bet by the time you make it up there, the gable end will be framed up, too. Those guys are flying.
Well, at the rate I'm going, they could slow down a little bit.
It's like you're mixing up a little concrete for the footing for this lally column that somebody pulled out years ago, who knows why, and never got replaced. Got a hole dug about 2 foot by 2 foot, 10 inches deep.
Right.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
I'll give you a hand.
Give me a hand to set it in. This stuff is nice. It's like cake mix. You just add a little water and mix it up.
Terry, you're sweating. You're sweating.
Sweat equity, they call it, right, Steve? I hope there's going to be enough, Steve, because it's my last bag.
Oh, it'll be enough. I'm going to put a little bit of rebar in the hole.
Good.
About 1/3 of the way up from the bottom. Give it some additional strength. One on this side, one on this side. And I'll just put one right across the middle.
All right, here we go.
Keep it coming. Terry, you're huffing and puffing.
It's good.
Going.
You think it would be rank amateurism to put our initials in this, Steve?
Well, it would, Terry, but let's put in TOH 94, shall we?
Well, considering the age of this house, maybe we should put 1994.
That's right. Hey, Norm.
Steve?
You guys are flying.
Well, they built the toughest wall, the gable end wall here with these 3 window openings, and they even put the trim on where they could. Because the more you can do when this wall is laying flat on the floor deck, the more time you're going to save later. You don't need ladders and scaffolding to climb up there.
I suppose if you wanted to, you could even set windows and claps.
If you wanted to.
Next, front and back wall, right?
That's right. Brace those, and then we're ready to start setting rafters for the roof.
Wow, 5 days to totally enclose the addition.
That's right. There'll still be a few more days of interior petitions, but that's it.
Yeah, that's fast. Hey, Glenn, you guys are flying. But I bet Tommy Silva and his brothers aren't having such an easy time of it on the inside, on the old work. That's amazing that 4 framers can create this whole space in 1 day. At the same time, 4 very talented carpenters barely scratched the surface in the old part of the house. Tom, you're supposed to save it, man, not blow it away.
Well, Steve, there was nothing to save.
Nothing to say?
No, I mean, this back wall is just gone. I mean, we've had to put a new sill in, new framing structure, new sheathing, and we still have a lot of extensive reframing upstairs. I mean, this area here is going to be a new stairway, and this has to be right.
Yeah. Now, over here, Tommy, is this old work really out that far?
Yeah, it's almost down. If you look, it's down about 6 inches lower than our new framing on this end only.
It's a miracle that the building is still standing.
It is. It's amazing to me.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, what we'll do is we'll rip that all out, and we'll bring it all up level with our new work.
What caused the building to fail like this?
Water attacking the sills. I mean, it rots the sills. And once they go, if you don't fix that problem, it's gone. I mean, that's the foot of the building.
Yeah. But at least when you're done with this part, we know that it is not going to go anywhere.
No, there's not going to be any problems back here when we're finished.
Well, that makes me feel better. Now, tomorrow I meet with a lightning expert. He's going to tell us how to protect this building from lightning attacks.
Lightning, huh? I'll sleep better knowing that.
I know you will, Tom. How's that for you, Steve?
Just a little more there, Steve. That's good, right there. Okay.
Well, joining me here in the bucket is Steve Gallo from the Underwriters Laboratory, and he's spent some time yesterday assessing the condition of our lightning arresting system. What have you found, Steve?
Well, I've got some good news here for you, Steve. The conductor material that I'm now holding does meet our current requirements. I was able to measure it, and it does come into our requirements.
So the cable's good. How about the lightning rods themselves?
Okay, the lightning rods, what you see over here, or the air terminal as we call them, also come into our meet our present requirements. They're the proper diameter, proper height, and they're also properly spaced from the ridge end of the roof.
So there's one on this end of the house, there's one down there on the other end.
Right.
Then we've got some on the chimney.
Okay, the chimney, well, there shall be 2 on the chimney. One is still there, one has fallen, but unfortunately they will have to be repositioned. But I don't foresee that as a major problem. Any installer will be able to do that without any problem to the homeowner.
So the gear we've got up here is in good shape, it just needs some tuning up, right?
That's basically it, yes. A little bit better fastening on some of the conductor runs too, have to be fastened a little bit better. There's some loose points there.
So we've got everything we need to attract lightning. How about discharging it into the ground?
Well, we'd have to take a look at the grounding system.
Let's go look.
All right. Well, this is it, Steve. This is the wire that brings that high voltage and helps discharge it into the earth, right through this path right here.
So you're saying that all the power of God's lightning travels down this wire and is discharged harmlessly into the dirt?
Yeah, this is what's been proven over 70 years of installations such as this.
How much power is there in a bolt of lightning?
It's been estimated that a bolt of lightning has 6 times the power generated by all of the power stations in the United States annually.
Is that right?
That's right.
And yet, when you look around the neighborhood, Steve, not every house has lightning protection, and few seem to have suffered from lightning strikes. Strictly speaking, is it necessary to have lightning protection like this?
Well, the statistics have shown that there's been $250 million annually caused by lightning.
Yeah.
Okay. This is more damage that is caused by tornadoes, hurricanes, or floods.
So it's significant.
It is significant.
Well,
what do you think?
I don't know. I think I better order a system and put it on my house. Now, Tom, what's wrong with this bit?
Actually, this is in pretty good shape, but what it's attached to is just gonzo. So it's got to come out.
Rot, huh?
You said it.
Man, I don't like the sound of that, Tom.
I knew it.
But on the good news front...
Good news front, we have our tubes that are going to accept our new concrete that's going to accept our new post for our back door entrance.
Oh, yeah, that little farmer's porch is going to have a roof in here, and I think that'll soften the transition between old and new.
Yeah, it's going to make a great detail.
So next time, Tommy, windows?
Windows, and hopefully windows and doors.
Okay, and Norm is going to take a trip to Jackson, Tennessee to see where tools are born. Let's hope he remembers his friends when he gets in line for the free samples.
Let's hope.
So until then, I'm Steve Thomas.
And I'm Tom Silva.
For this old house. It's rotten.
Yeah, it's rotten bad, Steve.